Hey there everyone, we've got a few skill runes that have come to the game, so I wanted to showcase them, well, showcase as in talk through theoretically, as well as mentioning this tip, which I was going to make standalone as a video, and then the skill runes came, so I'll be doing them. Also going to be making another tip trick about jewels, tip video about jewels, but that will come later because putting them together would be too long-winded. So let's go straight in with the skill runes, just to talk about them first. So the wizard one is, they're one for each class, all fire, and fire's always been a bit of a crazy stat, mainly because they brought in stuff like this fire curio, as well as if you look at my fire jewels on that, and then my fire jewels on that, they've given out some crazy fire damage to people, and I've specifically focused in it. So you can see I've got a huge modifier. That's a multiplier of like 2.65 onto any fire damage. So yeah, whenever a fire skill rune comes out, it's going to be powerful. And I've been leveling up this empowered flame armor. I'm going to get that maxed. And this new one, I'm going to max too. So it's to replace Expel, which is a little bit of a funny one. Expel, like Wild Swing for Knights, hits twice. And so the base damage here is 116%, which is non-elemental. And then you've got this elemental on, which will hit twice as well. So to try and compare the damage, it gets a little bit complicated because this base damage is getting doubled. But yeah, if you just look first up, sorry, what I wanted to say, this base damage 116%, it's exactly the same as Arcane Ball here, and actually the damage on top with Fire Blast is 150% plus 16,400. So when I see this this fire one, it's 150% plus 22,000. I compare it very directly to Fire Blast. Basically, it hits the same as Fire Blast, but a little bit stronger, because you've got that static damage as 22,000 rather than 16,400. So it's about 5,000 more, 6,000 more. Not really much difference, but a little bit harder. And yeah, so it's really the same power as Fire Blast, which if you've got that maxed, and you've seen it in PvP and other places, you know how much damage that's doing. So this is going to hit just a little bit harder than that. I don't know about the area of effect for this. That may be a big downer if they haven't buffed that. I will check it out and I'll get them to buff it. So I did for Expel, because that had a low range, and I was like, look, we can't use this. It just hits such a small area. So if it is going to hit a small area, I'll put in Massive Complaint and hopefully it'll get increased. But yeah, otherwise it's got that 2-second stun for PvP, which I already use Expel and have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, it's going to be my replacement to that. In terms of comparing it to Expel, like I said, the base damage is double on Expel. Base damage is in the non-elemental bit, but the elemental bit is much bigger. Because if you just look here at the percentage, 60% on Expel, you can think of that as 120, and then 150% on the Power Fiber, so a little bit higher. The static damage, 11,000, that's basically 22,000, and then on the new fire one, you've got 22,000. So it's actually more with that fire damage, but because that non-elemental is going to be doubled, it is going to hit slightly less than Expel when you've got no elemental bonus. However, if you have a high fire elemental bonus, this will hit much harder, and actually a higher proportion of it is elemental damage. So overall, I think I worked it out, you'd actually need about 300% of fire and shadow before the new one becomes more powerful. But anyway, basically, if you've got high fire bonus, this skill is incredibly powerful. And already, because it's got that long stun for PvP, this will be brilliant for taking people down. And yeah, all these three skill runes, they look like great ones for PvP. I'll go into the Archer one now. So for Archer, we've got it on the Sniper. I've actually got Shadow Marksman, so we can't do a direct comparison. I'll just flip between the two. So Shadow Marksman has a chance of activating and dealing 150% plus 15,000. Quite nice. That's a fairly large amount of damage to be going on to just your basic attacks as a boost, because you've already got the sniper skill on, really. I mean, that's a standard buff. So yeah, I always like that, but the chance of it is fairly low. Now, the chance in this, I'm assuming, is the same amount. However, the damage is again 150%, but the static damage is now 29,000 rather than 15, so a fair amount bigger. But the main thing here is because it's fire rather than shadow, you're going to be doing a lot more damage, I'm guessing, because most people have much higher fire than they do shadow bonus. So yeah, that when it does trigger, it's going to be doing tons of damage. And it's got knockback. Knockback is kind of fun. They actually have it on the Granite Spike skill rune here as well. So when, back in the old days when you had Granite Spike and Blasting Shot, you had a lot of knockback going on. And I think some archers find it really quite annoying when there's, for example, a boss that gets knocked back. You're constantly moving. You move closer to the boss because they basically get hit back towards a wall. I think in some cases they get knocked through walls. So yeah, it might be a little bit irritating with that, I don't know. But in terms of the raw damage, it's much better than Shadow Marksman. And in PvP, that stun, look at it, compared to the standard Blasting Shot, that's every 5th basic attack stuns for 1 second. This is for 1.5 seconds. That's a very big difference. A 1.5 second stun is very good. I mean, we're talking about on the Wizard skill burst, 2 seconds. That's sort of ultimate. So 1.5 second here, that's very, very good to be pulling off with your basic attack every fifth basic attack. So that's very frequently. So yeah, overall looks very nice. Definitely a nice upgrade to Shadow Marksman, and for the fire archers out there, that is going to be incredibly good. That is if it procs. If it's really, really low chance of happening, maybe it won't be such a sizable increase to your damage output, but either way, it looks really good. The Knight one here is a dual wield skill rune, and yeah, it looks really nice again. I'm guessing it's got the same chance to activate as the Shadow Wield. So just doing a direct comparison, you've got 105%. That increase to your base hits. I'm not sure if that crits. I can't remember right now. If it does crit, then that's fine. That's actually quite nice, having that 5,400 on every hit. But yeah, we're just going to ignore that because I don't know if it crits or not. But the 105% shadow when it activates, that's not really that good, to be honest. Not really that powerful. And so this new skill rune is a massive buff to that, making 150% plus 29,000. I mean, that alone, 29,000, that's going to be very soon, people have 29,000 damage. So that's pretty much 100% fire right there. And so yeah, it's a 250% fire hitting when it activates, which is very nice. Very, very nice. And considering this is, again, like the Archer skill rune, this is a kind of straight up buff to your character. Like, you have this on constantly if you're dual wielding, which almost all knights do. So, you know, you don't really need to do anything. And just occasionally you're going to be throwing out 250% fire damage. So yeah, if you got a high fire bonus, again, incredibly hard hitting this will be. And it just depends on the activation. I'm not sure how often it will be. But yeah, it looks very good. Very, very good. All three of those skill runes, but quite nicely balanced. They're not completely overpowered. I mean, if you look at the Wizards one, like I was saying, it's just a bit more powerful than Fire Blast, so it's not going to be one-shotting anyone. But with the stun in there, I mean, already if I hit Expel, that usually gives me enough time to take down anyone. So with a bit more damage on the stun attack, that would be quite nice too. So yeah, they're all quite nicely balanced, very powerful, but not completely overpowered. So yeah, that's the new skill runes. Like I said, I'm going to double check on the area of effect on the burst skill, and also if the activation chance on the other two, I'm going to compare them to the original skills and stuff, and see if there is a massive difference. If there is, I'll let you know. But I don't really want to test much before release, because generally that they put them into the game when they've kind of decided some of the numbers, but they're not exactly defined. So yeah, they probably wouldn't like me going to them going, hey, look, this is wrong, this isn't balanced. And then they're like, whoa, okay, we haven't even decided that stuff, just hold on. And I don't want to waste their time. So yeah, that's the new skill runes. I hope you like them. And what I'm going to say about now, a little trick, this is with score boxes. So if you notice in the leaderboards, yeah, let's look at the event one here. There are rewards here for first, second, third, fourth, blah, blah, blah. Move on, and then 51st plus. So this happens in the daily event boards, and also then they're called power hour boards, like the tournament power hour. So it opens up for 1 hour. They usually do 4 across the day, And yeah, there's a reward for basically participation. So this is a very tiny reward, not really worth it, but if you can get it, so if you didn't need to do the event runs, you didn't want to do them, it'd feel like a bit much to do an event run simply to get that. However, you can bypass that with score boxes. And so I have a lot of inventory space, which helps with this a lot. So I have a page here of event score boxes and a page here of tournament score boxes. These can easily be got when it's the tournament bonus box days. So you just play those. It's like a quarter chance, or no, sorry, 40% chance. I think 40% chance for the score box from that bonus box. So you can very easily stock up on a page of these. And then, yeah, when basically a tournament power hour opens, you just open one of these, and that will place you on the leaderboard. And you don't have to have 10 Valor ready or anything like that. Just open one of the boxes, and you'll get the participation reward, which for the power hour is just a 66,000 experience prism, which is quite nice. They stack up. Just for a score box, it's worth it, definitely. So yeah, that's a nice easy way to participate in that. And then with the event score boxes, the way to stock up on those is by doing your event runs on, whatever difficulty you're playing. Do it on Sunday, and then it comes with a bonus box, which I think has, I can't remember the exact drop rate. I think that's slightly lower. I don't think it's 40%. I think it's 25% chance for a score box. So it doesn't matter if it's premium or standard. Yeah, just store like a page of them. I think a page might be a little bit too much, but I like to do a page. So yeah, have a load of them stored. And then what I do is whenever it's an event power hour, I just open one of these, and again I get that prism. And then every day, if I don't get event score from a thief, because I'll explain that in a second. If I don't have any event score, then I will open one of these just so I place on that leaderboard and get some fish and a fusion rune. That's what it's called. So yeah, the other way to get event score without actually playing the event or going into opening a score box is with Golden Scourge. I've got my relic here. You just need it epic quality or higher, and then you have this skill on it, which makes it have a chance of producing a laden thief when you use it. It does a little animation. The thief appears, and these thieves, if you use them in a story map, they will drop event score as the score drop. It's a very high drop rate. So yeah, if you use your Scourge, your Golden Scourge enough in the day, or join other dragon parties and they use theirs, I actually most days get event scored from that, and I don't need to use a score box. But yeah, that's just a little tip there. If you do want to get those prisms and other little rewards, it's a cheeky way to do it for free. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.